watching another LSD production. My name's Monty. I'm here with Laz.
Yep.
Today we have a very special guest. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Cokeys.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, that's all I'll go by.
Cokeys.
So-
How do you spell that? Because
Cokeys.
For
Like-
sure.
Like Keys.
Cokeys.
and how'd
Cocaine
that name come about?
It's actually so basically my it was name given to me by my grandma, and she gave it to me. One I guess in Mexico are called Cokeys, but also my mom is which just delete my name off of there.
Yeah.
But either way, no, because of the police. But either way, her reason of doing it was because there's a frog. It's called the Coqui frog. So when I was little, instead of being called Coqui, my little kid name was Terremoto, which is hurricane, because I was a fucking, I guess, a headache.
Tremendo. You're crazy.
A problem child, as they call
Something
it.
like that.
Yeah.
But I guess as I grew, I got, I started to understand, being more observative of things, and what ended up happening is, so she called me Coquis. Coquis is Coqui is a frog that comes out in it's only comes out there after the biggest storms and shit like that,
Yeah.
right? And it's
Oh,
a very
okay.
beautiful whatever. So it comes out once a year or some shit like
I
that.
see.
Yeah.
So after
They
that
stay in the
hurricane-
mud. Yeah, right.
After the hurricane.
It's kind of like the beauty
Coquis.
after the storm kind of shit.
Oh, kind of like
Sick.
the perfect name, huh?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. It goes full circle.
It just falls, you know what I'm saying?
So, man,
But not really though. People would call me Cookie.
Cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, cookies.
But
It's
I'm
very,
cool with it. I don't give a fuck.
very similar.
Honestly, when I saw the name, I was like, I wonder if he just chiefs a lot and just try to
Smoking on cookies.
or just kind of not rip off, but kind of change the cookies thing into your own thing.
Oh no.
Nah.
You know how people be doing that? Yeah.
Nah,
But
this
that's
story
tight.
was way
The
much
story's way
better, much
Yeah.
better. I like that though. I never knew where it came from. That's cool.
Yeah.
It actually has a significance to it. But I have a question for you, man. And so you're an artist. Your art is, you do all kinds of art. When we used to be neighbors, I remember going into your art studio, your art gallery, and seeing you work on different things every time I would show up, from paintings, finger paintings, from glass, reverse paintings, from even things that reminded me of arts and crafts with popsicle sticks and kind of gluing stuff on and making things 3-dimensional and textured like that. So you got a lot of cool stuff, and I wanted to know when did you first find out that you were good at art? How old were you when you discovered you know what this is my thing right here?
Or I like this shit and this is what
when did you find out that you're dude, I can actually do this shit? How old were you?
Well, there's two different things right there. So there's a time where I really, I enjoyed art, where I was little. I started when I was little. I started just drawing. It was something that was just in me. And then the moment that I actually started to feel oh shit, this is what I want to do, that was much later. So
Okay.
it was one of the things that I've always done. I've always used to just kind of
How young were you?
about 6, I would say.
6?
Yeah, 6, right around there. 6 to 8 is kind of the time where I started actually doodling every day.
What were things that you would doodle? Because I would doodle when I was in 5th grade. My thing was dragons. I would doodle dragons and stuff. I was really into that.
Bro, you know
what would you
something?
doodle?
I had a crazy ass dream when I was I was 7, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and I was telling my mom, yo, I had this dream where it was I don't know if you ever read. I read a little, so it's this chapter in the Bible. What's called freaking I'm trying to remember here. Just blanked out on it. Revelations. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is they one of the stories is God. There's a second coming, and before the second coming, there's a false god type of situation or whatever.
Okay.
an imposter kind of thing.
Yeah, type of situation. I'm not religious. There's a situation why I know this, but either way. So I had a dream that before I even read this, that was very similar to the story, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. So I had this crazy dream. I woke up, and when I woke up, I was like, went to my mom and I was like, yo, I had this crazy dream, like not in those words, but I was 6 years old, but I was like, I had a wild dream, and she was
Yeah.
like, yeah, what was it about? And I told her, and she was like, huh, all right, and she was like, cool, and she like just kind of whatevered it, like, but not really, like so she knew something, but she didn't tell me whatever.
Yeah.
So I just was like, okay. And then, but the type of painting or drawing that I did, it was just like chariots and like this cliff and like a bunch of like people like running off of it. Like it was kind of like a weird kind of like,
You drew that when you were 7.
yeah, but it wasn't super intricate. It was just like the imaginative kind of state.
But even at that age, would
that I
you
could
say that
picture
that
it.
was pretty good for your age? Like your
Man.
mom could have put it together. Like damn, like
Yeah, well, she was able to put it together. That I would say, but I honestly can't even remember like how good it was.
Yeah.
I just know that
That you drew that.
and all. Yeah, and I think the way that I explain, I've always been kind of all right at communicating for some reason. So yeah, I explained it kind of in a way that she was able to understand. I could feel that she could understand it.
Yes. Dude, that's dope. Speaking about dreams, what's really crazy about this is one time I had a dream not too long ago, a couple weeks ago actually. And I remember coming in here and came in a good mood, and I was like, man, Laz, I'm really excited about all the things we got going on. I just had a dream about the podcast. And it's like we had our own studio, and it was like we upgraded, and we had a wall, like a brick wall that I had one of my homies come through and do art for. And it was you in my dream.
That's wild.
And you literally drew LSDP like on the brick wall. And I told them, hey, I kid you not, 5 days later, you hit me up.
Oh, wow. That's
Yo.
wild.
And I'm just like, dude, we got to lock in an interview with you,
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to me how all that shit just
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
comes
Yeah.
around and stuff. So yeah, here you are
True,
now.
man. You know what I'm saying?
he brought a dope piece of art for us that he did for us.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to bring that to us real quick,
Yeah, bring it over here so we can show the camera real quick.
dude? Just so you guys could get you get hand it to him. He's the artist.
Just put it in the middle.
Oh,
The camera can see.
Here,
it.
I want him to like describe what.
Well, yeah,
that's
let us know, bro. Let us know
you
what's going on.
All right. I don't know. You
We'll
want me to
point the
hold it?
camera at
Yeah,
you.
and just kind of like point
Should I
out what
hold
you.
it? I can't even.
Here, I'll
Yeah. I was gonna
Okay.
say yeah.
Cool.
Go ahead. Explain it.
Okay, so this is it's not a rain dance. It's actually a war dance. Not an Aztec native. He's actually part of a Zapotec tribe.
Yeah.
A lot of people do like Aztec stuff,
Yes,
and,
yes.
So I just changed it up a little, and this is just kind of like my own little like freehand I guess like patterns that I create. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of incorporate it like your guys' little LSDP for the
Yeah,
podcast.
see the letters on there tucked in?
Yeah, just did a
That's
little
dope,
button
man.
line. Yeah, I just started like
Little personalization. Dude, it's a really dope piece of art, man.
Yeah, we're gonna hang this shit up
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, for sure we will.
On camera for sure.
Appreciate that.
Put it on this side. No,
Here.
it'll be cool if we
Closer
just
over there.
we'll keep this on here. But real quick,
so-
your art. What kind of artist would you say you are? Would you say you're like a street artist? Because I do see a lot of street work. I see a lot of like I don't want to say like game bang stuff, but like street in the sense of like street art, street culture. I see Mexican. I see like super like different. I've seen some of your murals in Santa Ana. They're like pretty dope. It's different. But what kind of artist would you say you consider yourself?
Myself, I would say I'm a representative.
Yeah.
Artist, like, or somebody who is artist that represents an idea.
Yeah.
I guess is
Yeah.
kind of where I'm trying to go with this.
Mhm.
But if you want to like go the professional route, I would say visual artist.
A visual
you know what I'm
artist.
saying? But
Okay.
just because kind of like I would, you call me mixed media or whatever, but I just kind of like work with everything.
Yeah.
But a lot of what I focus on right now is in particular is the community I grew up in, but just a sense of representation or sense of like, you know,
Yeah.
no understanding or knowing or getting to know.
Okay. So like, okay, you said like the community you grew up in, and that kind of leads me to this question. Who got you into art? Was there somebody like that influenced you into it, or did you see something when you were in school, or like what got you into like picking up, you know, paper, pencil, whatever it was the first time? Like,
Well, back to that.
Back in the day,
back
yeah.
to that story with my mom, or whatever.
When you were 7?
Yeah. You asked me how good it was. I can't remember, but I remember after it was done, she was like, maybe like she made a comment like, maybe you should
Draw more?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
okay.
you know?
Yeah.
And that stuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Because I was already doodling a lot, and then
So she was supportive.
yeah. So of course, she was always there. You know what I'm saying? Like when when she was around. But and then my boy, one of my best friends, his name is Luis Chavez. Got me into graffiti. I was
gonna ask that. Did you ever
yes.
do graffiti? Because
Yeah.
I feel like you have like you're able to do anything. I think that if anyone came to you and was like, "Hey, can you do this for me?" With what I've seen you do, I feel like you could do whatever anyone wants.
This guy has a bunch of murals like, and they're graffiti art.
Yeah.
But
I definitely see like street culture, and I don't mean street like ghetto street. I just mean like in street culture, there's everything. There's the skateboarding. There's the game banging. There's the
music. There's hip hop. There's everything.
Well, let me say it like this. I wouldn't exactly call it like street culture, because there is street culture. There's people who try to represent or kind of like set or put out a certain type of like feeling or depiction. You know what I'm saying? What I'm doing is more like what I feel like I'm doing. I would call it more like kind of like a like live depiction or like a real time.
Just representing in real time.
Like, but not only that, it's also kind of like trying to put a kind of like a spotlight on something that's not that people usually don't. You know what I'm saying? And just as it is. You know?
Yes.
That kind of actually leads to my next question, because at some point you said that you want your art to have a point or something like that. My question was going to be like, do you feel like you ever like try to not necessarily attack might not be the right word, but when you do a piece, you kind of try to speak out on a certain situation and represent it through art. Do you feel like that's most of your art, or do you ever do that type of art where like?
Yeah. So listen, you speak a lot about on like my art kind of is like gangbanging or whatever. It's not that I focus on this. It's more like that. This is something that is also part of
your life,
the community, and what's going on, and how I grew up and all these different things, right? And the situation here is that it's whether people consider it a problem, people consider it an influence that might not be correct. The first question is are people considering it in the right way? The idea is why is it this, and why has it turned into this, and was it anything before this? And if it and people don't look into that, you know what I'm saying? And the in the 1950s they try to wipe us out, as Latin, Mexican Americans or just Mexicans, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But either way, the sense of it is kind of like why are we here? Like kind of and that's what I'm kind of trying to portray about it. But to even get to that place is very hard, because a lot of people won't even give it a chance. So I kind of like blatantly don't give a fuck with it, because it whether it pisses people off or not, it brings them up to that question, and it opens up the conversation, or opens up the fucking, whether it's whether it's combative or whatever, but at least it opens it up. And luckily for somebody like me, I understand what I'm doing, so I'm ready for it, and I'm ready to maybe challenge your thoughts or
Yeah.
beliefs, you know, on something like that, you know, because of where we're at, and understand that it's something that it takes a village, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Type of shit.
Like
yeah.
there's that because I've seen some of your shit and I always wanted answers to like what are you like some of your Santa Ana murals. I'm like, damn, like I wonder what he tried to imply through this piece. I guess that's what I was trying to ask. Do you ever have like a certain thing that you're trying to ever imply? Like I remember when the border shit with the kids was happening. I don't know if you remember that. Down in San Diego, they did a pretty dope mural that they were like expressing like the like I guess support and shit.
The implicate. I'm not trying to imply any. Like if anything, provoke. That's why I kind of base a lot of the things around, you know, what I do, and the reason being is because you know, like a lot of people don't like seeing like and things that like it's not just regular Chicano art. You know, I do like the little cards, whatever. It's different shit.
No,
so,
you do it all like I
That
said in
shit's
the
dope
beginning.
to me.
you know, and so it gets kind of like people questioning it, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it's still this. But then that still raises the question. So the reason what you're saying, the behind it is because it raises a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's loud.
Yeah.
You know, and it's good. I think you there's definitely a message, you know, that you like portray in your art, you know. It definitely has that. So you're very talented, bro, and that's why we have you in this room, right? And so there's a lot of people, there's a lot of artists out there, probably artists that are going to be watching this. And I kind of have a question that like, I don't know, it might strike their interest. It might, you know, bring up their hopes or whatever. But, you know, for people who want to do this like as a living, how old were you when you sold your first piece of art, your first commission art? Do you remember that?
Yeah. I would say I was 30.
30?
Yeah.
Dang. So you were in the game. You were doing charity work for a long time.
Well, no, I wasn't. I didn't. Like I was doing my own thing and doing like graffiti. And,
I see.
And then when I was doing that,
You were sharpening your tools
I would
without.
get like a couple jobs, like random, like little, and that would be like trade offs. Though it wouldn't be for money. It would be like for
services or this
like
and that.
Whatever it was, yeah. And then
that's
you know,
dope, dude.
like
That means your art holds value, bro. That's
Yeah.
there's that.
Oh yeah.
What was your first trade off? Did you ever like?
It was.
What was your first?
It was like I did the homies little garage. He has a little like you know, like mechanic garage for like I think it was for like £1. But we ended up like you know, doing a little situation. But either way, you know, it was kind of like my pat your back, pat my back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I was just learning. He knew it, and he didn't have to pay me. But you
That's
know what I'm
sick.
saying? I could have fucked up his shit, but you know, I didn't.
So would you like consider like getting paid in designer or something like that, like trade off?
I wouldn't say there's certain things that I mean I do have.
Obviously, you have to like it, right?
But usually, if I only do that with people that I know and I trust. I don't do it with anybody.
So if Monty came,
everything else is business.
So if Monty came to you with his little Fendi belt and was
but
like,
that's my boy. I might even be like, you know,
keep your little Fendi belt.
Get that shit out of here.
I'll just do it for you.
Yeah. No, bro, that's why I fuck with you, man. Yeah.
You said you did graffiti before this. How does like a graffiti artist choose their spot? Like, do you drive by it or walk by it like a couple times and you're like, that's the spot, dude. That's where I had to fucking like.
There is that. I mean, you can do that, and that's cool. But we just hop out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like we were doing a lot of like me and my friends were just kind of like just hopping out on shit.
And you just tag like a name and shit, your name.
No, yeah. But we weren't just tagging them, you know. But you know that was just like, you know, a small part of like
a small part of the whole picture.
But I just always wondered like, do those fools just like, hey, turn around real quick. I like that spot right now. Let me.
Yeah, that would happen too. Yeah. Like or like
just always have your cans.
Like I'll drive in like, let's say for example, 4 people in a vehicle. One's driving and the other 3 people are literally just
scoping,
you know, like scattering everywhere and
right
like
there.
Yeah, and whoever catches something, then you know, like just if we have to turn around, park, and just start walking towards it.
What's
in a situation as
what's
we
the
go.
biggest piece you've done like in that kind of era? Like where you were just hopping out and shit.
Well, I mean the biggest piece probably would be it was pretty big, man. We did a.
And how long did it take
I would
you?
have to say, God, how big was that thing? It was probably like I don't know, like 2 of these guys right here, like squares. But
Damn.
like,
Okay.
so that what is that? How many feet
At
is
least
this?
20
Like
feet.
20, yeah. So like 20 plus 20,
Yeah.
40
yeah,
feet.
long and about like 12 feet high, probably.
Sheesh. And you guys
40 square feet.
cut like art or like
Well, it was a mix. Like did some lettering and then
Mm-hmm.
had some like characters, you know, kind of flowing through the
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah.
how long did that take
Sick.
you?
That was
Couple days, no?
no, that was one night. But it wasn't all nighter.
He's quick with it, bro.
No, well, it was an all nighter, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Hey, keep
it was
truchas
a
right here
long
real
night.
quick, fool.
Yeah. Huh?
Well, I mean, it depends. You know, some you know people have their places that they are able to do that at. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And we happen to have one of those places at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
that's
where you
dope.
don't have to worry as much. You know?
Yeah. So, tell me about trust.
Oh yeah. So
TRST, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about what does that stand for?
It's the right side of the tracks. That's what it stands for. It's you know, kind of like in like an ode to like my neighborhood or the
Yeah,
community,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're on the right side of the tracks or whatever. And it's it was funny. It's just kind of like what I had originally labeled my DBA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But either way, it doesn't. It was just a business name, you know. And so then what ended up happening is after I ended up finding out that you really don't want to file like with the city for a business because it's literally going into contract and like fucking yourself. But that's another story. But
Oh, okay.
yeah. That's what it was my business name. So that's what's the name of the gallery,
I see.
the little gallery that I had
Yes,
for a little bit.
yeah.
And we were able to. That was just
Dude, I got to live that. Dude, I got to go in there, saw some performances, saw the whole gallery going. Like,
cool.
dude, that was dope.
So this is probably like an ignorant question and shit, but have you seen Blood In, Blood Out?
Yeah.
So how much do you identify with like that fool, like being able, or how much do you want to identify with that fool being able to put his art like with all the whiteos pretty much, just be able to sell like a piece of art, like I obviously that scene right where he's like, damn bro, like he just sold out. To him it's like, damn, these fools just bought. Like to you, I'm sure like you put in your work, but at the end of the day, to some people it might just be like paint on the wall or something like that. But to be able to sell something like that is.
See, the thing with me in art is the relationship that I have with it. It's not about like what or I sell or how much I sell it for.
Yeah.
Luckily, like I have like a lot of friends and also like people that I've been able to hold good relationships with. That like I mean, that a lot of things get picked up. And I price things well, but I'm not. A lot of times, I'm never ever selling anybody anything.
Yeah.
I do this shit because I
like
fucking like it a lot.
He literally lives and
into
breathes
my
it, bro.
shit.
Yeah.
Like and it's just and shit like like my community or shit that inspires me. Like it kind of makes. I like it's like fuck this shit inspired me to do this. Like let me share that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's kind of like giving it thank you.
So is there anyone that couldn't pay you $1 million for a piece of art?
Well, what do you mean? Anyone that couldn't pay me? Oh, that couldn't. Okay, guys.
Like
I mean, like an Epstein or some shit like that. Yeah. I mean, I do have principles, but yeah. Outside of that, I mean, shit, Diddy maybe. That's it.
As long as
you ain't rapist or child molester, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
That's fair.
You
That's
could
fair.
be a fucking drug kingpin. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you got a pound,
You know what I'm
You go
saying?
for it.
We get down. You know.
Yeah. So how many like murals do you have out there right now that you can like think of? I know you got a couple. I've seen a couple.
Shit, in Santa Ana, I had a few, but
Just in Santa Ana.
City was kind of like fucked with me a little. But
Oh, yeah?
I had like 5 there. But
Yeah, I
then,
remember that.
Kind of like, but then there's down to like, I think I'm down to like 2 over there.
There? Okay.
Yeah.
and for
then,
those, do you like just just paint over someone's shit, or does someone like, hey,
No,
you
I
can
got
hit up
paid.
it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Literally, businesses pay him to like paint on their walls. And
So
stuff,
like
dude.
that one, I got paid. Like those, I mean, 3 out of those 5 I got paid for. The other 2 were just kind of like on my own doing, just walk ups, like me walking up and being like, "Oh yeah, we belong here," and just like painting like a 30-foot wall. You know, and acting
Like a blank one or over someone's
No, like a
shit?
blank,
Blank.
like we did one on 3rd and Bush, and
Yeah.
it was like right in front of this bar in this gym, and the fucking bar guy called the cops on us, and I already had been out there for about a year or whatever. The cops already knew me, and like they came, and they were just like, we're drinking out there.
Yeah.
But, so they were just like, hey guys, just they first came up all pissed off, and then they seen me, and they're like, oh. Man, just put the beers behind like the trash.
At
can.
least, huh?
This is not the cops. Fuck, I don't mean to put them on blast, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
that shit was
yeah.
lit. But either way, we're catching. They didn't even ask about what we were doing. We literally walked up to that wall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even like the bar owner was like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Was the wall on the bar?
It was connected to the bar. It was their parking lot. It was their parking
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Did
That's
you at
why.
least put a sick ass like?
No, yeah, we did a super dope piece. Yeah, we did a smile, don't frown. Like it's what it said, and then it had characters like a sad like face,
Yeah.
and then like I had a little Pachuco dude like.
See, it's like the message is there.
They
The
were
message
just
is
hating.
clear. Yeah. They're,
No. He was hating, but it stayed up for like almost 2 years.
Yeah.
No, it was a little over 2 years, like almost 3 years. They just recently buffed it.
Like off, there's
Damn.
nothing there no more.
Yeah, it's fully and nothing's.
So out of all those pieces that you've done, which one would you say is your favorite?
Man, I would say I did this piece in not even in LA at this person's like little gym situation.
Yeah.
And it was just like a view of like the ocean. It was just like a very simple. It was not graffiti. It was literally like a scenery, and that
Yeah.
shit was. I enjoyed that.
I hope you have a picture so we could pop it up on the screen and shit eventually.
Yeah, I do somewhere. I would have to find it.
No, yeah, you
Yeah.
can send it to us
I'm
later.
sure.
We'll-
Yeah, I'm sure. I did.
Our editor will pop it in
Yes,
there.
sir. I'll throw it to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well,
Yeah, man. Those are pretty much all the questions I wanted to ask you tonight,
yeah,
bro.
Oh,
Thanks for coming, dude. Hey, everybody. This is another LSD production. We got Cokeys in the building.
give him your Instagram.
Yeah.
too.
Give him.
I got the biggest cotton mouth right now.
We'll drop it.
Instagram is De La Costa. It's _DE.LA.COSTA_.
You heard it here, guys. Give him a follow. He gave us a wonderful fucking mural right here on one of our panels. We're gonna hang it up here in the studio, dude. Thank you so much for coming through with that. That's dope, man.
sir.
Honestly, I appreciate
It's
that.
dope
That's
having
love.
you, bro. I
Yeah,
hope the
man.
next time we see you, you're in bigger, better places too.
Yeah, man. And even if
Bro.
I'm not, just know I'll be enjoying life.
No, trust me. With this shit, I know that you're only gonna go bigger, better places. And this is just off of this. Like, a lot of people would just not even paint on this just because of the material it is. Like,
yeah,
just
no,
off
that
rip.
was tough as fuck, actually.
Yeah.
Just off rip. Like, people would be like,
it eats up all your paint.
Nah, but Cokeys can paint.
Yeah.
He'll cook it though. He'll cook it, bro. He cooked that.
But I mean, just to that's not what I'm looking for though. I'm not looking to like become.
No,
Yeah.
It's not what you're looking for, but it's what you deserve, bro. And we're putting that out in the air for you.
People need to know.
I mean, I know it's gonna happen. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing about you, bro. The people that know about you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very underground, but it's like the roots are in there. You're very deep rooted, bro. That's the
from my
thing.
community, man. Love
Yes,
y'all.
sir. Yes, sir. That does not go unnoticed, man.
For sure.
It's in the air. We feel it.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes our interview. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm here with Laz.
Yep.
My name's Monty, and we're here with Cokeys.
And
And
Chris
we're
is
out.
in the back.
Chris in the back. We're out.